The funding for this video is provided by the amazing members of our Patreon. Also contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Y'all started from PBS Kids, what you gonna do? Fight me? Anyway, roll the video. So, disclaimer, I will mainly be talking about Karens and how it relates to Black women in this video, but I put women of color in the title because I have seen people call non-white women Karens, and no, you are not right. Y'all be so fucking loud and wrong. Oh. So, I'm gonna be real. I'm still mad about the situation that happened with Sesame Street, specifically Sesame Place, that took place months ago over the summer. So we are here today in spooky season referring back to that. One of the reasons why Black people don't like it when non-Black people begin to use the terms and phrases that were created by them is because they take the phrase and run it into the ground. And when I say run it into the ground, I mean they use it incorrectly to the point where it don't make no fucking sense. By the way, run it into the ground is, you know, slang. If you know, you know. Like, why are y'all out here calling women of color, especially Black women, Karens? Care to explain that to me? Y'all really don't know what that word means because Black people are the last people that can be Karens, and a simple Google search would have told you that. Like, literally go on Wikipedia, and before anybody try to say anything to me about Wikipedia, because you know we're taught in school that it's not a reliable source. It's not a reliable source if there's not a link there to back up the claim on the website, okay? Literally go on Wikipedia. There's plenty of sources that make up the article on it. And if you actually read it, you would have scrolled to the bottom and saw for yourself all of the sources they have to back up about that claim. Now, people tend to think that Karen and Becky means the same thing, and no, similar, but not the same. One is amazingly worse than the other, and that is Karen. Karens are way worse than Becky's. Karens are white women who think they are entitled to everything, and Karens are very much disrespectful to everyone, especially people of color and especially people that are in the lower working class, and she tends to make herself the victim in problems that she herself caused. Now, Becky is just a white woman that's clueless about everything and is conditioned to think that the world is fine when it really isn't, because the world is okay to her because she has a white privilege. Now, I'll use an example of what a Becky is and what a Karen is. And we're gonna go from our favorite little Canadian series called Total Drama. I'm telling y'all, Total Drama really... that show honestly is what got me into reality television. But anyway, let's go. Blaney is what we would call a Karen. She is extremely rude and nasty. She feels entitled to everyone's business and then got mad when somebody treated her the way she treated others. Like when Jeff got her ass on Her Name Isn't Blaney, I was like, get her, Jeff. I was so happy. Now we have Lindsay on the other hand, who is one of my favorite characters in the series. We would just call Lindsay a Becky. She's just clueless about everything and thinks things are fine when they aren't. Sometimes she gets the hint, sometimes she doesn't, but overall, that's the main difference between a Karen and a Becky. Hey y'all, it's Harriyanna and I'm back with another video. Hi, hello, how are you guys doing? My name is Harriyanna and welcome back to the pirate ship, also known as Harry Hook's pirate ship. I am the captain, you were not my first mate. I don't got no first mate because you wanna know why? Come here. I let everybody in on a little secret when they come over on my pirate ship. Nobody is worthy of being the first mate. But hi, hello, how are you doing? My name is Harriyanna and I like to make content based off nostalgia, family and children's entertainment, and all the issues within these spaces. I remember somebody had said something about why would y'all try to catfish as Harriyanna, because she makes it clear that she doesn't have a first mate. I'm not looking for a first mate, okay? Now here today, We're just going to be talking about Karen a little bit more because Karen has just low-key lost its meaning, and I'm here to remind y'all what the fuck it actually is. But before we begin, I do have a few little announcements. I am currently having a 50% off sale off everything but the books on my website at harriyannahook.com. But if you guys do want a discount on the books, use the code HOTSPOT30 for 30% off your order. My picture book, My Lady Perfidy, is on pre-order at the moment. You get this beautiful art book that is told through, you know, photography, writing, and drawings. A very nice, cute coffee table book that has a really nice story to go with it, and it has a short film that is going to be coming soon, so make sure you guys look on the lookout. You can own this beautiful piece of work, okay? Hotspot 30% off your order. And then also, thank you guys so much. This actually is sold out. My novella is sold out. It will be restocked as soon as I can, but if you guys still want to get it, you guys can get the digital copy that is on my site. If you prefer ebooks, I understand some people prefer physical, some people prefer ebooks. Either way, both are there, and the code works for both of them. Also have these two cute ass stickers on my site. You can get these for half off. You have me in the ladybug card with Alia, and then you have the black pirate powerpuff girls, and then it has a little catchphrase at the bottom. I am the captain, you are not my first mate. How fucking cute is that? But that's enough for this, because y'all didn't come here for me to do self-promo. Y'all came here to get educated on Karen, and I'm proud of y'all. Thank you for clicking on this video, because I know a lot of y'all tell me that I teach y'all shit that they will refuse to teach to y'all in school. So let's go ahead and begin. Hey y'all, now before we get started, I do want to read you guys this longer section of this article that helped me so much when it came to me putting this video together. And I feel like if I read the article to you guys, not all of it, but part of it, and then go into the subject matter, things would make a lot more sense. So let's go ahead and get started. How the Karen meme relates to the violent history of white women. The historical narrative of white women's victimhood goes back to the myths where they were constructed during the era of American slavery. Black slaves were I'm so sorry for messing that up. It's late, y'all. Anyway, as sexual threats to white women, the wives of slave owners. In reality, slave masters were the ones R-wording their slaves. This ideology, however, perpetuated the idea that white women, who represented the good and the moral of American society, needed to be protected by white men at all costs, thus justifying racial violence towards black men and anyone who posed a threat to their power. This narrative is the overarching theme of, y'all know that movie we keep fucking bringing up on this channel? A Birth of a Nation, and the 1915 film that was the first movie to be shown in the White House, and is often cited as the inspiration of the rebirth of the KKK. If we're thinking about this as a historical context, where white women are given the power over black men, then that word would be value over a black man. That makes it particularly dangerous, and that is a problem, says Dr. April Williams, an assistant professor in communications and media at the University of Michigan and a fellow of the Beckman Klein Center for Internet and Social Society at Harvard, who focuses on race, gender, and community in digital spaces. White women are positioned as the virtue of society because they hold that position as the mother, as the keepers of virtuous and all the ideologies that we associate with white womanhood and white women in particular. Their certain role in society gives them power when you couple that with this racist history, where white women are afraid of black men and black men are hypersexualized and seen as dangerous, then that's really a violation combination. Williams says the exposure is challenging this position. That's part of what people aren't seeing, is that white women do have this power and that they're exercising their power where they call or threaten to call the police. As might be expected, the internet has found a way to jester about this power dynamic, but very nature of the humorous approach presented the risk by downplaying the threat. The violent history of why Williams calls against letter at time humorous nature at Karen's memes minimizes the way in which white women have longer posed danger to black and brown lives. On one hand, the humor is a way of dealing with the pain and the violence, so in that way it's helpful, but on the other hand, the cutesiness and the laughability sorts of memorize the mask the fact that women are essentially engaging in violence, she said. The fact that Amy Cooper is saying, I'm going to call the police and tell them that an African American man is threatening my life, is a very racially violent statement and a racially violent act, especially if you look at it in a larger, broader historical context and think about the way that Emmett Till's accuser, Carol Bryant, did the same exact thing and it resulted in his death. That's not to say that memes are ultimately beneficial, however. According to Williams, Karen memes can serve different purposes for different audiences. For white people, it can help them recognize a pattern of behavior that they don't want to be a part of, but might be complicit in, and can be an easier way to have a conversation about white fragility, entitlement, and privilege. It also holds them accountable for racism. For Black people, the memes can act as a news source, evidence, and an archive of the injustices, the attempts to control bodies and situations, or as Brock put it, microaggressions that often scale to macroaggressions when the police are called in. Enough about me, and now on to Karen. One thing about Miraculous Ladybug is that it's a show that has so much. It's like, I even said this on my Tumblr blog, but I was like, Miraculous Ladybug is trying to be Nana Us by Jordan Peele. What was it? It was something funny. Okay, I said Miraculous Ladybug is trying to be Us by Jordan Peele, Mean Girls, Nana, and the MCU all at the same time, and it's not fucking working. It's honestly a melodrama at this point, but there's always something going on within this series, and that's kind of what keeps me interested in it, because when I got bored of the entire main storyline, I got really interested into the side plots of the series, and then it made me realize that there's way more problems in the show than we thought it was, and that is part of the reason why so many people come to my YouTube channel, because I talk about other things with the series. You come into my channel and we're not going to be sitting here and going off about Meredith and Adrian and Chloe and the love square. We're going to talk about the other shit with this series, because there's so much to talk about. Like, why do y'all think I have so many videos about Miraculous? Because there's just so much stuff to talk about. Like Descendants. Y'all wonder why I have so many Descendants videos? I always got something to say. Now, I'm going to sit here and talk to you guys about a woman by the name of Audrey Bourgeois. Now, Audrey Bourgeois, her last name literally explains what she is. She is a rich white woman who is the director of the world famous fashion magazine called Style Queen. She is a horrible wife to her husband, Andre, who is the mayor of Paris. Is he the mayor of Paris or is he the mayor of France? I should know this. I study French. But while she's a horrible wife to Andre, she's also terrible to both her daughters, Chloe and Zoe, which led to Chloe becoming literally a mini version of her. Chloe is indeed a Karen in the making. And overall, she's just not a nice person. And she has no respect for anyone that isn't of high class. She is very rude as hell to people that are part of the working class and the middle class, and people that are technically like service workers, nasty as hell to them. And I think one of the worst examples of her Karen behavior was when she thought it was okay to scream in Natalie's face like that in front of all of those damn people. Like, the worst part about it is that Chloe, like I said, how Chloe is like a mini Karen in the making, she joined in to yell at Natalie too. And I'm sorry, I ain't forget him for this shit. Like, don't be doing my baby Natalie like that. Like, no. I don't want to hear shit about y'all defending Chloe for yelling at Natalie like that, because we are taught as kids that we need to respect workers, and we're taught as kids to just respect adults in general. And yes, I understand not wanting to respect like a mean adult, but in that moment, Natalie really wasn't being mean. She was just doing her job, and her job is basically to do whatever Gabriel tells her to do. Like, I know, like, Gabriel had Natalie go do that to piss Audrey off, but she wasn't being nasty. Because she basically just told her, she was like, we have a seat for you in the second row. And she was like, I've never seen the second row. She was like, well, not today. Like, but the thing about it is that when Natalie started being rude towards Audrey is because she did that shit first. Like, that shit was warranted. Like, in that moment, Natalie wasn't being rude to Audrey until her and her little daughter got ugly with her. And the thing with Karens is that they get mad when you talk to them the way they talk to you. Hi, live from the editing room. I wanted to elaborate a little bit more on the entire thing where I said how Chloe was yelling at Natalie like that and she thought it was okay to do that. That's not the first time we have seen Chloe be like very disrespectful to adults. So when we saw that like her mama was yelling at Natalie like that and she joined in, she thought it was okay. And it's obvious that she learned that behavior from her mother. But then also when we're in school, we are taught to respect people that are working where we're at. We're taught to respect adults. So yeah, I'm just like, Chloe has a bad history of treating adults horribly. Like talking to them like a Karen would, pulling Karen behavior. She's irritating. I'm sorry. I think her fans are really just kind of what make her like so unbearable for me because like, I'm sorry, you can't defend this behavior. Like, yeah, it gives reasoning. Her mother being the bitch that she is. But there's just certain things about her where I'm just like, no, in school she is taught that she's not supposed to act that way. She most definitely should have known better. And it's not like Chloe's 8 years old. She's 15. She should know better how to treat adults with respect. Bye. Now, I'm going to sit here and read you guys Audrey's bio on Miraculous Ladybug's Wikia because they did not sugarcoat shit. Personality. Audrey is a bossy and demanding woman who only accepts what she wants and is exceptional. She is considered to be the harshest fashion critic in the world and has no problem causing a fuss for those who do not meet her demands, such as having an issue with the red carpet being made out of fabric instead of marble. Like her daughter, Audrey has a fierce, explosive temper and will get upset over minor things, such as being denied a front row seat. She will also attempt to fire anyone who displeases her. OMG, fuck this bitch. I hate to say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous, but Audrey Bourgeois is indeed a Karen. While she may not fall into that category of where Karens be racist, because I don't think we've ever seen that, I don't recall Audrey ever do anything that could be racially insensitive in the series. She's just fucking terrible to everybody, including white people. Audrey is not that part of what you would call a Karen, but every little other thing that falls into the Karen category, that is her. Like, even look at her fucking hair. Like, Karens either have that pixie cut or they always have that bob. It's either or. But like I said, she literally hits every single ballot on the mark with the exception of that when it comes to the qualifications of being a Karen. And guess what? Part of the reason Audrey is able to get away with what the fuck she does is because, can you guess? Can you guess? Can you guess it? Can you guess it? Okay. White supremacy. People have started using the word Karen with any woman who is outspoken or any woman that they just simply don't like. And then I saw people were starting to use this shit against black women, just women of color in general, and no. Because now this turns into a conversation about sexism, which leads white women to latch onto and start to rebel against when they use the word completely. British writer and feminist Julie Blendell caused a stir on Twitter when she asked outright, "Does anyone else think Karen is a slur, woman hating and basing on class and prejudice?" I messed that up so bad, but I don't care. Surprisingly, a bunch of white women agreed with her, and people have started openly denouncing the word, calling it sexist and ageist, and, shockingly but kinda not, the female equivalent to the N-word. Black women are once again forced in a position where they have to choose between their race and their gender, and they start to lean towards race. They are called bad feminists. First of all, we all know that it's not the equivalent of the N-word because you're all actually saying Karen. Second of all, this is cultural appropriation at its finest. People of color are truly sick of watching something that they created and took comfort in their community get adopted by white people on both sides. It gets twisted and morphed into something that ends up not belonging to them anymore. And this happened the second Karen turned into a hashtag. Karen isn't a sexist term. Those sexists are trying to take it and use it as a weapon against any woman that they feel is too mouthy. It's not also an ageist term because a Karen's behavior has nothing to do with her behavior. Audrey Bourgeois. Because she is white, while many other Karens in the world do the shit that they do, because they know that in this world that we live in, like I said, our world is rooted in white supremacy, white privilege, yeah, they will be okay. History repeats itself every day, and all those little videos of Karens cussing out retail workers or food service workers, those women are just doing fine. Like, yeah, they got embarrassed on the internet, but they didn't lose their job. They still living in their nice ass house where their husband literally does everything for them or whatever the fuck. They're still rich. They're still well off. They're still driving the soccer mom car. They're still yelling at their kids as teachers. They're fine. I remember at my old job, there was this white woman that was arguing with the costume department because she didn't want to wear what they were giving her, and shit like that would have gotten my black ass fired on the spot. And they continue to do that Karen ass behavior everywhere they go because they are white. And because they know that they are white, they put their whiteness before their womanhood, and they can get away with what they do and want everything to be their way. And by the way, Karen, you are not Usher. You cannot have it your way. You can't have it your way. Your way. You can't satisfy your needs cause you're rude as fuck to me. No way. No way. Y'all know I can't fucking sing, but I had to do that. I'm sorry. So for y'all to sit here and call the mother of the girls that were racially discriminated against by the racist workers at that theme park being Sesame Place was being a Karen was extremely incorrect. Black women speaking up for themselves and their loved ones does not make them a Karen. Black women speaking up when the waiter gets their order wrong and being polite to them about it is not being a Karen. A black woman going off on someone who was rude towards her is not being a Karen. And a black woman speaking her mind about the misogynoir in the world is not being a Karen. Also, by the way, black women can't be Karens because they're not gonna get away with it. If a black woman is doing Karen shit, they get handled, they get kicked out, they get banned, they get escorted, they get arrested, and they get fired, okay? Black women and just women of color in general cannot have mental breakdowns in person and have the same kind of grace that Karens get. And it also just goes to show you how the world just coddles white adults all the times when they do wrong, but treat children of color like adults, or they just be real nasty as hell when a person of color is a victim of something and somehow it's their fault. Like how Kendall Jenner was literally in her 20s when she did that racist ass Pepsi commercial, and then everybody kept calling her a child in that situation, and I was like, baby, she's 21. And the thing about it is that, like, I understand with Kendall Jenner, like, you know, she white. I understand, white, rich, privileged white girl. She probably didn't know, like, I understand it takes white people a little bit better to unlearn they ignorance, okay? It takes that with everybody. But, like, to call her a child when she literally was 21 is no. Or how y'all just keep babying Ezra Miller. Y'all did not have that same kind of grace when Deja Harris was on the internet getting clowned because her dad invaded her personal privacy and y'all defended him against her. Y'all gotta stop taking terms and trying to change the meaning of them to fit your liking. You cannot call someone something that you don't like that doesn't apply to them. And also, if y'all did your fucking research, you would have known that certain things mean things and you have to use them correctly. But y'all don't want to read. Y'all don't want to fucking read. Y'all don't want to listen. Y'all just don't care. You just want to do things your way. You can't do that. Okay, this is getting mean. And if I go any longer, it's going to get nasty. So we just going to cut it short right here. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I didn't want to go on too long because if I did, I'm just over it. But like I said, my book's on my website. Ebook for this is available. Physical copies will be restocked when I can. My Lady Perfidy picture book, get to pre-order it right now. Seriously, it's so beautiful. Like, it's on, there's a digital copy for this just as well, but like dead ass, it's a beautiful book and I just really can't wait for you guys to get yours. Like, I've been literally so excited for you guys to get your books. I went ahead and shipped them out. You bought one, please let me know what you think of it. By the way, like I said, the cute ass stickers on my site, harriyannahook.com. You guys want to know other ways you can support me? I have Patreon, I have Buy Me a Coffee, and I have Ko-fi for donations, supporting my work, and also you get exclusive behind the scenes videos of how everything goes with Harry and her world, and you get exclusive videos, so that's fun. And you also get early access to these videos, so yay. Another thing that I wanted to mention, I have a web series called The Progenies. Go follow, support please. GoFundMe link for all that down below. Last but not least, just follow on everything at Harriyanna, Harriyanna. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and have a good night. And remember, if you're gonna use the word Karen, you better use it correctly. 'Cause I work hard to get to this point in my life. I'm blowing up, so don't hate, just congratulate. The Powerpuff Girls will just blow your mind. Buttercup like villains 3 at a time. Bubbles will smile while kicking your butt, and Blossom will lead them out of their rut. Cherish and Powerpuff, 2 of a kind. Both wanna save the world before bedtime. From Townsville, Memphis, New York to LA, the Powerpuff Girls are just here to stay.